But we're optimistic about the other two groups. So I want to welcome you and give you my part of the presentation today. You know, we are missing one person, and I want to wish him my good wishes. Well, two people, actually, that I know of, probably missing more than that. One is Sherman, of course, and we all send our best wishes, Sherman Stone in Austin. The other person is Mark Rossi, who's been a real good contributor to the SHRP image for almost 10 years. And the guy has worked in sales here in San Francisco, he's been a DM in Los Angeles, and he's just done a great job. So when we see him or you talk to him, tell him that we mentioned his name, we all think very highly of him and wish him the best. When I think of Mark, I always think of like these tall, handsome guys, you know, they're sort of athletic. The kind I always wanted to be, you know, like in high school. And somehow Mark reminds me of a basketball player. So I was thinking about that on the way here, and I was thinking about the story about Bosnia, you know, which is a very sad situation. The Bosnia Herzegovina and the bombings and the fighting. I don't know if you read that story. There was a Bosnian who was signed by the Los Angeles Lakers to play basketball. So this Bosnian basketball player has now played a season, and the way the story goes, he called his mom back home, and he said, "Mom, you know, this is great. I've had a terrific year. I got my contract renewed. They're paying me a lot of money. In fact, they're upping my salary for next year." His mom says, "Son, let me tell you something. While you're playing basketball, we are going through heck over here. Your sister's been abused. Your brother's been beaten up by Roman gangs. Your father's received a gunshot wound." He says, "Mom, it's not my fault. I'm just playing basketball." And she says, "But son, you're the one that wanted to move us to Los Angeles." So it's not easy being a DM in LA, and everybody's ready for a life change now and then. But you see Mark, tell him, wish him our best. Let me just quickly recap the year. You know, we had a really great year, relatively speaking. Life is relative. Relatively speaking, we had a real home run, I guess, last year. We doubled our earnings. Sales grew from about 150 million to about 190 million, almost 200 million. And to show a 100% increase in earnings on a healthy sales growth was really terrific. And we ran 15% comp numbers most of the year, so that was really terrific. And even in the first quarter of this year, we continued to show about 17% comp increases. So I want to thank you for doing a terrific job last Christmas and for the full year. That was really great. And I think we're entitled to feel really proud of ourselves for having a good result. Father's Day came, and we were a little bit disappointed. And I think I know the reason why. And many of you have heard me say this already, but I'll say it again for those of you who are new or haven't heard it. And that is that I personally believe that I believed too much in continuing to sell the same products, the same sharper design products, the same bestsellers. And a lot of the district managers told me, they said, "No, you got to have more excitement, you got to have more freshness." And I'm going, "Gee, we're getting these 17% comp increases every month. Why have to manage new inventory? This is too easy." So we did that, and we got through Father's Day. We started a stale product mix, and we didn't quite see the comp increases we wanted. We still showed a slight positive, about 2, 3, 4% increases, but it just isn't really what I want, or what we need as a company to pay for the increased advertising, because as you know, paper prices really dramatically escalated this year. So we got a couple dynamics going on that are affecting our year as a company. We are absorbing paper and postage increases, by the way, that are about equal to our entire earnings last year. Isn't that amazing? We were at 41 cents a share last year. When we were public, they talk about it in cents per share. And we are absorbing paper and postage increases this year of about 35 cents. So almost our entire earnings from last year are being absorbed by paper, because there's a paper squeeze going on in the catalog business. And this is affecting everybody, not just us. So Williams-Sonoma and Lands' End and Spiegel and you name it, almost every single catalog company without exception, Hanover Direct, every single one without exception, they're all experiencing some losses right now compared to last year. Same with Williams-Sonoma, same with SHRP Image. And so we're reporting, as you know, for this last quarter, lower earnings than the previous year, which is the first time in 14 quarters, the first time in 3.5 years
that we didn't show an earnings increase, along with our healthy sales increases. So I'm just sort of telling you all this so that when people come in and talk to you or your associates ask you how we're doing, I think we're doing really well. I think we're sort of stuck with a big paper increase this year we can't avoid, but that's one part of it. On the earnings side, on the sales side, the products have been a little stale as well. And that's been going on for June, July, August. It's pretty much going to continue through September, unfortunately. Beginning about October 5th, when the new memo manager comes out, the little handheld product from SHRP is designed on the cover of the October 5th catalog. Is that correct? Yeah. Beginning about that period, then you'll start seeing all these other new products working themselves into the system. And so, beginning about October 1st, I think we'll have this issue of the new products sort of resolved, and I think you'll have a lot of excitement. And just, asking people during the break, I got that impression you feel the same way. So I feel real positive about this Christmas, and I want to see us get back to showing these comp store increases of 5 to 10%. And so if you feel like when I visit you, or if I ask you, or when you're talking to your DM, if you say, gosh, we're beating last year's numbers, well, that's good. We got to beat them by about 5 or 10% minimum to be in the ballpark of having a good result. So start thinking about a 10% increase. That would be helpful. Now, we will finish up the year, I think, with respectable earnings. And next year, I think we have some real opportunity because we'll be cycling against these same paper costs. And in fact, we figured out some way to save some money on the paper. So that'll begin about October also. So I think we have some real good opportunity next year to see our sales growth, and what we think this year will be about 220 million sales. Next year, I hope we can get back to about a 20% increase and be around the 250, 260 million level. And the year after that, have a shot at doing 300 million sales, which would be the first time ever in our history. And in fact, this year will be a record sales year for us, so that's real exciting. And a lot of other good things are happening in the meantime. Before I just touch on them, I want to just ask you to think about what I've experienced in my visits this past 6 months. What I've seen is sort of a basic issue, which is so simple, and if you've been around a long time, you've heard me talk about it before. If you're newer, you haven't heard me talk about it so much, and so bear with me while I talk about it for a second, which is, I want to call it the 3 C's because that will help me remember it. The first one is to be the captain of your own ship, to command your store. I walk into a store sometime, and I see this sort of disarray. This just happens sometimes, not all the time. Especially happens when you're real busy on a Saturday or Sunday. It always happens when I walk in, because that's the way fate is that I walk in and it happens. So I walk in, the store's sort of in disarray. You get the feeling it's a little bit like an outpost of the SHRP just being overrun by the other side. The other side being the customers, of course. And we need them, and I love them dearly, but they do have a tendency to mess our stores up. So what happens is I walk around the store, and it just doesn't quite look like it should. Things are crooked, some things aren't working, some things are just, I tell you, you'll find it hard to believe, but I've actually been in stores regularly where products don't work. I'm in a store where 2 pinball machines are both sitting out, and neither one of them is working. Well, on a Saturday with a lot of customers in the store, you're not going to sell many pinball machines when you have 2 pinballs, neither one of them out there working. And yet this really does happen. And why does it happen? Well, that's the second C, which I would call, you got to check your displays. You got to walk around the store, you got to check things. I walked past stores from the outside. I walked up to the store where I've seen the volcano floating there in the window with 1/3 of it deflated. I walked up to a store where I've seen torn boxes displayed with just like huge gaping holes in the side of it. And I brought it to the person's attention. They said, yeah, gee, I didn't see that. And I got plenty of boxes to replace it with, and here's this box in the window with this big, huge hole blown out the side of it. And it's like, well, I don't know, why this happens. But I think part of it is we aren't in control of the situation. And you wouldn't, think about it like if you're operating, like you're this brain surgeon, and all of a sudden you're operating and there's like this, blood vessel like spurting over here, and you tell somebody to clamp it off. Well, at least you hope you tell somebody to clamp it off. And if you look over there, it's never been clamped, or if somebody clamps it poorly and it's still spurting, and you're the brain surgeon, well, pretty soon the patient's going to run out of blood and they're going to die because you're not paying attention and you're not in control of the situation. Not a very good example of glory, huh? Let's think of a different one. But it's sort of that way. This store is our window to the world. You're the captain of the ship. You're the one that has to take charge. You've got to either delegate it, do it yourself, And if you do delegate it, follow it up. If you do it yourself, that's fine, but then you gotta take yourself away from something else. Whatever, but you gotta be the captain of your ship. You've gotta be in command. And if you decide this blood vessel is leaking over here, you don't wanna come back and look at it and find it never got repaired. So this is so basic, it's sort of ridiculous, but if that's the one thing I see sometimes with new people especially, is that you're not in charge or in command of the situation. This checking of displays, that's something you almost have to do almost unconsciously all the time. I mean, walk out, walk back, look around the store. This is so obvious, it's basic, it's simple, but you know, the basics are so much what trip us up in life. I mean, there's some saying that I don't remember very well, something about like, you know, we don't fall over boulders, but we get tripped up by the little pebbles in our shoes or something like that. Or God is in the details, or something like that. And that's the way this company was built, in those details. And that's why I have to keep repeating it, and bear with me while I finish the last one, which is to keep the stores clean. The last C is cleanliness, because, you know, I was thinking about the Army, and I've never been in the Army, but I go to the movies, and I see all these movies, you know, like Goldie Hawn is like, you know, Private Benjamin, or you go to the movies, and they're always yelling at these people in their face, right, about, you know, the boots aren't shiny enough, or the guns aren't clean enough, and you wonder, why are they so particular about cleanliness? And I think the answer is because if you do that, if you have your stockroom clean and the old pizza crusts are put away and the old soft drinks are thrown in the trash, and if the outside of the store is clean, and I know it sounds hard to believe, but I mean, I was in a store not so long ago where there was like this big wad of gum in the bubble gum, pink bubble gum, in the track of the health rider. So as the health rider, you know, rolled back and forth in that little groove there, you know, it would bump over the big wad of pink gum. And the gum was turning black over time because of the constant rolling. So it didn't look so bad, it wasn't so pink anymore. But still, it was really strange that there's a big wad of gum there. And I thought, how can they not sort of see this, or want to get this big wad of gum out of here? But people just, you know, they just don't see things because you're used to it, it's your store. But the fact is, if you keep your store clean, then what it tells your customers and your associates is that you're running an organized, disciplined environment. And because it's organized and disciplined, they respect the whole situation. And the customers, subliminally and subconsciously, respect us a lot because they can sense it too. When you walk in and you know it's right, you feel good about it. I mean, think about a Gap. They got all those sweaters and things that fold up all the time, you know. And if you walked into a Gap and the sweaters were everywhere, or the polo shirts were everywhere, you just wouldn't feel very good about the store. You feel like it was out of control and you wonder what they were doing. And if you walked in and everything's neatly folded like it almost always is in a Gap, you feel real good about the environment. It's the same way with our stores. When a customer reaches on a POP on a wall and they look at that plexi shelf and it's covered with dust so thick that you can run your finger through it, it doesn't give the customer a very good subconscious message about the product. Same with the products themselves, you know. When the product gets so beat up or so torn or so soiled, we've got to replace it and put a new one out, a fresh one, because it's not saving us any money, really, in the long run, to have a soiled product out there that says the wrong message about our company, and then nobody wants to buy the product because it doesn't look attractive, right? So I mean, this cleanliness thing, it's sort of my pet peeve, but believe me, in the long run, it translates into a message to your associates and your customers that's really important to me. And ultimately, it's important to you because in the long run, these 3 C's, being in command, checking your displays to make sure everything's working, and keeping the store clean, that will add up to, ultimately, a competent store environment that's going to produce comp store sales for us. It does. I see it all the time. And I also see the other side. So we've got to do sales, but I think long run, you'll be better served and we'll get the result we want if our stores look right and if you maintain this attention to detail. Okay, so that's getting it off my chest what I've seen in the past 6 months, what I need your help to think about as we go forward. Let me just touch on some of the optimistic things. You're going to hear about them all week if you haven't heard them already, but let me just keep touching on it. Spa is doing very well. You know, we've been doing the Spa catalog for about 6 months. It's been very successful as a catalog. The first store seems to be successful. It's only been a month, but it seems to be doing real well. This has benefits for all of us because those spot mailings, even if it's just 2 or 3 or 4% of your sales, they do bring extra customers into your stores. And so we are excited. This year we're opening a total of about 10 stores in total, about 4 spa stores and about 6 Sharp River stores. And next year we are, at the moment, planning to open as many as 15 to 20 total stores. So this is the first 2 years in about 4 years that we've really been on a real growth with retail stores. So we're really excited about that because it creates opportunities for all of us in the long term. Bigger company, more stores, more districts, more responsibility, and more opportunity. We're going to be testing some interesting things. I don't know how well they'll work, but some of them will work, just like Spot worked, and so I'm really excited about some of these tests. We are going to test a Sharp Image home collection catalog in late November, and this will sell furniture and accessories for the home. Sort of like the way Spot took some of the Sharp Image products and sort of repositioned them to where the female customer looked at them sometimes for the first time. I think the home catalog can sort of serve the same purpose. We can take some Sharp Image products that maybe the female customer doesn't see, and we can add to it, in this first mailing, a lot of furniture and occasional furniture items, like tables, chairs, bedroom sets, dining room sets, real furniture, along with some regular Sharp Image items. And again, that will have the benefit of producing interest and traffic in all of our stores, ultimately, if it succeeds. But the first mailing is just a test, and it may or may not succeed. We're also testing a Sharper Image wine cellar newsletter, which will begin hopefully in late October when we get our legal license from the state of California. And that letter initially will be mailed to California, Illinois, probably Florida, and about 6 other small states initially. And we're sort of excited about that because it's a new division, and our company certainly has that customer who consumes wine, the upscale, sort of professional managerial person. So we'll be testing a wine newsletter. The way that'll work is people will receive mailings about every 3 weeks, offering them rare, unusual finds, generally from the Napa Valley, but not always. And we have retained 2 of the best-known people in the country, if not the world, to be our wine tasters and writers. One of them is David O'Connor, and he's here right now. David, you want to stand up over here? David is one of only 26 master sommeliers in the United States, which is quite a credit. And we're very proud. David's with us full-time, and we'll be writing and editing most of the newsletter. Also, Bartholomew Broadbent is working with us, and his name will carry weight also in the newsletter. He comes from a very good background of wine, is known internationally. He's about in his mid-30s, but his father was the head of the Christie's London auction house wine division for almost 40 years. His father was about to retire now at age 82, I think. So that's, I think, really interesting. We have these 2 rather distinguished people accompanying our newsletters that goes out with their name, their comments, and their writings. So I think that'll be really interesting and generate some nice interest. As you know, we are on Q2, a division of QVC shopping with a 1-hour show once a week. It's a modest program that's generating some small but adequate sales every week, and we hope that QVC will expand the reach of Q2. We are on the internet with a homepage, again, a project which is in its infancy, but I think really has tremendous potential for the future, this internet shopping thing. Because I think in the long term, it's going to be a way to get much bigger distribution of our catalogs than just through paper catalogs. And then, if we get it on the air by late November, we're going to test the first of 2 direct response television spots for Sharper Image products. One which will be spa related in its theme, and one which will be Sharper Image related. So one is a woman's product, and that will be the massage hairbrush that we're selling right now for $20. And that will be tested in 60-second and 2-minute spots, offering the product directly for sale. But as you know, one of the best results of infomercials really is the store traffic that it potentially can generate if you get a national rollout. And that's, of course, what happened with Health Riders. The infomercial's done so well, it's really made our store sales pop. So we're hopeful that that or the other product, which will be the new Key Seeker, which again is a product that we don't know exactly when we'll get it delivered. We're shooting for around the end of October. And the Key Seeker is about a $20 product that you whistle to find your keys, and when you whistle, it beeps at you. So that's going to be a $19.95 or $20 item on a 1-minute or 2-minute infomercial, again, which we'll test whenever the product's ready for delivery. But we're very optimistic that that has, I think, really exciting potential to be a success on television. and if so, could generate a lot of retail interest for people, because for every person that buys it on television, probably 10 more buy something in retail, and we have enough national retail stores to take advantage of that. So we have a lot of good things going on that I think bode well, between testing the home catalog, the wine cellar newsletter getting going, the infomercials, the birth of the internet for us, which again has tremendous potential in the next 3 years, and of course the spa expansion while we get back at the same time expanding the SHRP stores. There's a lot going on. It really, I think, fulfills the sort of the pledge and the promise that we started making to ourselves a couple of years ago to show, for me to be able to show you, that we could demonstrate some growth, some dynamic growth. And I'm real excited about the next 3 years as we approach, and I'm looking forward personally to seeing us get to the $400 million level, not the $200 million level. None of it would be possible without you, and you are a super group. And I look around, and last night's party, I see the familiar faces, people obviously from other countries visiting us, and our own managers, and the district managers that I've worked with for a long time. I really appreciate you tremendously, and I want to thank you and remind you, I sure want to see that 10% increase this Christmas, because we would like to get back on a really good earnings growth track to keep our stock moving upward, to keep the momentum that we've got, to keep fueling our store opening program. So let's really turn in a nice result this Christmas. Now, the last part of my presentation is to make good on a promise that I delivered last year when we switched a lot of our luggage production over. I remember Shannon cautioning me. She said, Richard, you shouldn't switch too much luggage over too quickly because you may run into a problem whenever you use a new vendor. And I said, no, I'm so confident we will have a defect-free introduction that I'm willing to publicly say to the store managers that if we don't have a defect-free introduction, they can throw eggs at me next year. Well, unfortunately, we did not have a defect-free introduction. So this year we are having the egg throw contest. And last night we drew names of about 3 people in each district. And if you remember who you are the ones who are eligible for the egg throw. So, our luggage improvement program display over here will now change into a target, and I am the object of this throw. Now, it's not as easy as it looks, let me tell you. Do you remember when you were a kid, like you went to the county fair and you tried to knock the bottles over? It's not so easy, especially when we're going to make you stand. Guys are going to have to stand a little further back, not out in the hallway. First, I need 2 volunteers. One of them's got to be tall. I think I'm going to volunteer Mr. Rusby. And I need one more tall volunteer. Steve, want to do it? You can't. And you guys are going to help. Steve, we're not going to let you hold.
Actually, Brian's going to toss either Joseph, if Joseph one. Yeah, no, you're tossing too. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So here's the deal. I am the object of the egg toss. Do not hit the guys in business. Okay? I think you should take off your jacket though, just in case. No confidence in me is confidence in the throwers. Okay. No hard feelings now. It's my promise. I have no trouble making go with this. I am going to wear a helmet though, okay? So what we got is, Craig's going to conduct the official throws here. You're going to try your best. And we'll see if any of you guys can throw worth a darn. Or women, because we selected some women's name last night too. We'll give the women a handicap and we'll stand a few tables closer.
Each district manager gets 1 throw, and the people that were selected get 2 throws.
Okay, this is the official egg throwing costume right here. This is the helmet. This is the helmet. Made it real easy for you, okay? The idea is you try to hit this little orange dot here. It's not easy. This is the official athletic jacket. And while we're getting this arranged, I want to mention one thing. You know, I was disappointed with our luggage introduction, and we have worked all year to make it better. And I think we've come a long way. If you're wondering, I am still not happy with it, and I think we have to go one step further on the quality than we are right now, because I think we're all, you know, ready for a product that's even more durable and less likely to come back from the customer, especially with our generous 5-year guarantee. So we're going to be working, and it'll take us about 6 months to get it in place, but I'm hoping by about Father's Day, we'll have a new, improved fabric. And it may take us to a higher price point, which will be a challenge, but we just need to deliver that to our customer because of the quality image that we have.
Now we
Okay, so the plan here is we've got 2 guys. They're going to hold up the tarp. That's just in case some of you cannot hit the target, even close. But hopefully a tarp will be necessary. I will now put on the helmet, take my position, and we'll give you, Craig says, 1 toss per DM, 2 tosses per selectee. What? I'm going to be behind the, will now remove the poster? You don't think I'm going to stand in here like, totally exposed, do you? Get real.
The rowers, are we ready? Correct? We're ready. Okay. And what we need to do is like the District 2, let's get the 3 throwers behind here and just kind of as let's get 2 districts positioned, okay, behind here. The men are going to throw from right here. The women are going to throw from 2 tables up. Okay? The object is to hit this white thing here. And upon sitting through, let's please not go over into the mural.
Extra hard boiled. No kidding.
That's good. Okay. All right, what's District 3? That was the plan. Let's get District 4 behind District 3 here to keep this thing moving, and then Betty, you can move in too. Yeah. We haven't told the hotel we're doing this, so we're trying to do that. Okay. Dale, you get 1. Okay, hold on. Hold on. gonna have to move up.
One step closer, what do you think?
Okay.
Guys,
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, we got two over here. Let's hit the helmet, okay? Okay, team. All right, good. Okay. This is Gary, so if you want to say anything to Gary, we'll just.
66 inches here.
Does this improve the luggage in yet? Well, Gary, you should have done a knock rate. Okay, Brian. Okay, so here we go. Mark. Oh, the curveball. Or okay, Vinny. Here we go. Right there. Yeah, you move up. You move up. Hey, you move up one more. Okay. Ooh. We've only got 3 more eggs left. Okay, so you guys get 1 each. There we go. All right, good job. Okay. You do it from here. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, here we go. Ellen, you're last. There we go. Other 20 eggs? No, I don't think so. Oh, we got more eggs? Oh, hold on. Hold on. We underestimated the, come on, Fred. Yeah.
You may wonder what this feels like, right? Okay, this year I'm not making any promises of this sort. But you can see it's not always easy to hit a target, moving or stationary. But we try our best, and I think we're going to have a pretty fun Christmas, and I really appreciate your good humor and your help. Thank you. like, well, hey, drip it down.
What does that feel like?
It's a little gooey. All right, Craig, what's now?
Okay, well, we're going to take a lunch break, and that's a 1 hour break. The reason that we showed you the Black Stallion movie during the merchandising presentation is we've added one event to tomorrow's activity, and that's bareback horseback riding. So you can kind of pick up on that. Not really, not good. Okay, so 1 hour break is noon, so we'll be back here at 1, and then we're going to have our team building and break into our workshop groups at 1.
What's that? What'd you say?
What was it?
I was thinking about. Just over that dark, dingy old, unless you do another place to go.
Completely blank tape, correct?
Well, not completely. I've recorded.
All right. I didn't know you had a partner, Bill.
Well, in some of my dealings. Not all of them.
The tab,
No,
Mr. Haber?
It wouldn't even go in the record mode.
Okay.
That was the case.
All right, but it is going into record.
Audio signal too.
Test.
Okay, problem solved.
What did it turn out to be?
Oh, if I told you, I would be so embarrassed.
Okay.
That,
We'll move on, huh?
okay, let's get a test.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 1995 Image Awards ceremony. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 1995 Image Awards ceremony.
Okay, let's get it playing. Excuse me, can I have about 3 minutes of silence, please? I just need he needs to record. It'll just be about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, stand by. And go.
VO, take one. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 1995 Image Awards ceremony. Take number 2. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 1995 Image Awards ceremony. Take number 3. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 1995 Image Awards ceremony. VO, sentence number 2, take 1. Hey, Craig, we're ready to start. Take 2. Hey, Craig, we're ready to start. Take 3. Hey, Craig, we're ready to start.
That was great.
I did show her.
Okay.
Right behind you.
A rail with taped to the paper taped to the straw as a rail.
2 sets of straws going like this, and then some going across.
And then have a couple under the paper coming across and come from moving.
And then we can tape the paper.
And then you could use the pipe cleaner to get the 2 rails top of the chair. You can tie them so they don't want to pull together or pull apart.
But we had to use.
Well, the other question
we haven't used toothpicks yet.
Toothpicks be easy. You could just use a couple of them to hold 2 straws together. I mean, as long as we use one. Now, the only thing we haven't used yet is the cups. How do we use the cup?
Well, the cups you get to actually stack from the floor up. As an under support.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, that would work.
That's a good idea.
How's the sound on that?
I don't know. I can't tell. It sounds okay. No, it's okay.
4 on each side.
They don't have very much time before they have to stop talking.
They have 10
and then
minutes, right?
So we should
Yeah, we should
go
go
to
around.
You want to go up this way? Let's go up this way. Careful now.
The light that tells me it's rolling isn't working, so.
Yep. The loss prevention guys are overseeing everything.
Are you getting up to sing, or are you going to
Yeah, I'm going to do a little number.
Okay.
Just to break things up.
We're on? We're
Act
working
natural.
on this, we're working on this. What do we need the scissors for? Well, we might have to cut the straws.
I think maybe that's what the cups are for, is to build it up. Or
Bridge.
What are you going to do with the paper again then? Fold it thirds?
Or what if we fold it in thirds the long way? So it's heavy. Like,
yeah, kind of weave that together.
weave it back and forth.
Next group. Let's talk to Mary. Let's have her on
The
every
group
subject.
over there was touching theirs.
Uh,
Okay, you have to mount the cup here, okay? And then we use the scissors to cut the hole, right?
Okay.
And anchor that with spike needles, because you need the weight there. Then we do the straws leading in.
No need.
They're too close.
Okay.
Bring it help.
They were too intimate of a group. This is a good spot. This is a good group.
You know what I mean, like this? And you place the
You're on.
Act natural.
Act natural.
You know.
Well, it's so easy to do. You're just standing over like you normally stand. The mic in your face. Yeah, right. Act natural. Naturally how I have to wait to touch it.
Is that what you guys want to do though? Take the pipe cleaner in a circle so that you can place the cup inside?
I think we need to use several cups. I think the cups can give us the strength.
Yeah, I think it could. But how should
You could cut the cups.
Right, you can cut the cup. Yeah, you can cut them. See, you know, like this.
We could make like half, and then go this way. like a tube, that would be kind of strong.
That would be strong.
You know, cut them like that.
You're right. That's right. Half.
Yeah.
Use one of
That's
each
smart.
type. Yeah, one of each type. You got it.
At
And
least.
it could be in a decorative way. It doesn't have to be
So we
part
could
of the
use the
whole
scissors to cut them.
And the red pen can be the.
I don't think so, no. Couldn't be.
Either does the scotch tape.
No, just to use it. Just to use it. It doesn't have to be. Oh, Ginsburg.
The instructions are on the other side. We turned it over.
Where are they?
We want to get as many managers as possible. I don't want to get well, just pretend like you're not. What an effective group.
All right, so
Okay, so where do we use the marker?
that's the painted red, so it looks like the Golden Gate. That's
Cool.
But do we have to? Original. Well, he did say we just have to use it. It doesn't have to be. Does that mean it has to be in the bridge? Or no, we can do whatever we want. Use it as a You use the for art.
Well, see, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, put it right in. Use it as a support.
That glass of water is heavy.
It's a full glass, yeah, especially a glass glass.
All right, so we're making support in here with the two pieces across this way. Then we connect the straws together.
To give a side swing.
Just the side, or you want to just go all the way across with it? You got enough straws.
We're gonna need to have the vertical support too.
Okay.
They should go over there.
Well, this is a good angle right here. Oh, sorry. Run along with me now.
What are you in here?
Look at that. No.
Don't let it bother you. We gotta go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a scissors to work with, so we could. Will it be strong enough? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, we're gonna have about 3 more minutes to discuss this. We've got a couple of questions come up, and let me just clarify. Okay, Lou, your group, just a couple of clarifications here. Okay. You have to use every material that's in the bag. It doesn't mean it's in the construction as a bridge. So you can use your scissors to cut something. You can use a pen to draw something. They do not have to be in construction.
Reinforce it.
Okay. 2 more minutes.
Then we can just tape it to the straws.
Put the straws underneath. Put it underneath.
Put the straw to reinforce the straws. The cups. Okay. So the straws construct a beam, and we lash the cups to the beam. I got that right?
We can also use
What are we going to do with the part of the straw that bends? They're going to push in over each other. Right over. Both sides for support, on top.
This group?
And then on top of the straws.
Okay.
We have enough time to go that way, but as far as using that, I would just say, I'll let her hot top it or something.
I don't know.
Or could it be a main hand? I can't remember. It's where the scissors would be.
There's another thought to stabilize it all.
I definitely
and
still,
then-
the right angles are going to have to, these will have to go right angles.
So those will go right angles over.
The only thing is the cup might fall off.
Yeah, I'm just thinking at a glass of water is so heavy. I just don't see paper, no matter.
Well, if you put enough scotch tape on it, put a lot of tape
Kill
on
it
it,
with
you know, like almost make it like a pony, like asphalt. Yeah. Of magic tape.
Okay, so who's gonna do that? I guess maybe like Bible do that in there. We can have someone like put the straws together. Tape it.
Okay. How are we doing? The battery?
Batteries are okay. It's just I got to be able to use either additional straws to make it like the wire cables. And I'm talking trade secrets. I'm sorry. Just closed. Don't stop. Just no.
They won't see it till next time.
We've got you know what? We've got this mastered.
They're really serious.
I should set this. I should set a time limit on it. Durations like that first. Right?
It's teamwork, not a competition.
Well, because we have.
Okay, how about
Listen, instead of putting these vertical, if they're horizontal,
taping a straw to like the edge here?
because you can tape them
That would act
I really feel the toothpicks have some contribution to attaching cups and straws. I thought they were just talking about that chicken salad out of my mouth at lunch.
That's true. Yeah, I think they work for that too.
You didn't use that one, did you?
Planning coordinator and facilitator, and she says she's only had one bridge fail in all of the time she's done this exercise, and that was a lot of pressure. That was with the structural engineering group that she was. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to have 10 minutes to build your bridge. And here's the twist. You cannot talk. You can obviously touch the materials. So when I say go, you need to just get somebody with, the slimmer the hips, probably better, but make sure that there's kind of a hip distance between your bridge, and dump out the materials, and you have to build your bridge without talking. You have 10 minutes. And you can go ahead and start.
Okay. No, you don't need this for 10 minutes.
Thank you, ma'am. You have to. You can't just pull it. You have
to pull that, push the thing. I was thinking that you could teach me how to edit, and I could help you edit.
Sure. Learn like this, you know.
It's like that. I mean, in general, I think it would be a good idea. And I could even go. I could even go like rent go to a place and rent the board or whatever. He's fucking These are great. They're all so different.
Okay, 30 seconds.
I love the flag.
What we're going to do, just stay standing because I'd like you to participate in this. What we're going to do is we're going to go from bridge to bridge. Okay? And please not over the bridge. We're going to start over here and do the water test. So I'd like the bridge builders to be, let's see, Phil, maybe you can be on this side. You guys need to be in back of your bridge, okay? And then Sherry's gonna take their photograph. Okay, this one is cross at your own risk.
All right.
All right, we're gonna move over here. This is the sorriest looking bridge. This is the bridges of Madison County. Okay, let's keep moving down this way. Only 16 more to go. TSI Team USA.
Just watch our boat.
Oh.
Our boat?
Okay. They have a boat to catch the water. No, that one's super solid. That one really is. Let's see. All done. Team members. Okay. Now we miss Sean.
Where do you?
We'll get a water picture.
Please hit the target.
Easy. This one's easy. I got that. Support it. Yeah, here you go. Stand behind.
Hi, Deborah.
What picture?
Okay.
Ours is a divided highway.
Anybody that hasn't seen this bridge, you gotta see this one. You guys took 10 minutes to build this?
Actually, 12. Sorry looking, but it's still.
What, you had Australian on this?
Yes.
Rogers here? Okay. Oh, we got one down here.
Oh.
Okay. This could be the second failure
In history.
Good job.
Together and I'll take your picture.
Okay. Well, here, I won't
Yeah.
worry about it.
Where's the group?
Right here.
Full of corners. That's right.
It worked.
If you move it over that way. It worked.
Good job, Joy. What is this?
Quiet. Spelled it wrong.
It's a smart product.
Okay, here we go. No, solid's wrong.
Wow.
Oops, wrong. Okay. All right, just a few more to go. You guys, you got it? Nice break. Wow.
That's a nice
Solid rock. Roll. There we go.
Sure. You guys good?
We'll proudly stand by this one.
All the people backing up.
You know, Craig, if I can just do the egg thing, that would be much better at this point.
Water balloons.
Okay, that's fine.
Guys.
Yeah. Oh my Lord! The scissors were on.
Okay, we got the, where's Sherry? She's still taking the group.
She's getting a picture after.
No sag.
No sag.
No sag.
Okay, Sherry, these guys are ready. They're in the no sag group.
Whoa.
There. Hey. Okay.
Is this your group? We want you guys to get beside
Bridge TSI. I like that. What's this thing?
We autographed it.
Oh, okay. This is an autograph bridge, Bridge TSI. So these guys have done, and then you've got your substructure. I see. There.
Wow. Would you like to put some more on?
Hey, where's the group?
Oh.
here.
Okay, got everybody except for down over here? Just these two? Okay, this is good.
No, we got that.
There we go. The last and final bridge. Oh, two more bridges. Okay. Excess toothpicks here.
Messy bridge maker.
There he is. All right, who's, let's see, you guys gotta get behind this one. Who's Sherry?
You're first.
You're bridge first.
Take credit now.
That's good. Excellent. Stepped up early here.
Cheese.
Okay. And this is our bridge rules.
Yeah. Cool.
This is you guys?
Yes.
Great. What an operation.
Sharper image defies gravity.
All right. So whose was the best?
Is that it, Greg?
Hey, Steve?
Listen to everybody
Hey, Scott, anything?
That the plan can change halfway through as long as everyone communicates properly, it'll work out.
Any other comments? I think it's a real good exercise. I participated in a session where we had a few less bridges. But as a number of people said, every one of the bridges is different. They all accomplished the result. They all held the water. And you got to go through a communications exercise that really is symbolic of what we want the stores to operate like. Not that we don't want people to talk, but if you talk about a plan and you can go out and execute the plan, I think it really kind of can hit home and make your store operate a whole lot more smoothly. Okay, what we're going to do now is break up into the workshop groups. And those groups are all, you should have been contacted hopefully before the meeting by your group leader. I don't know if you all were. And you should have kind of a good idea going into the group of what you want to talk about. Here's what we want to accomplish with these groups. Because you'll see on tomorrow's agenda that we have 2 hours slated for the, basically the group summaries. We would like for your workshop group to work on the topic that is listed under your name and where the rest of your group participants are. And what we want you to come away with are 3 to 5 actionable points that we can get accomplished between now and November 1st. So we don't want any far range situations here. By next March, we're going to do something. This is really actions to be put in place between now and Christmas that will positively affect your store, the company, and as a result of your workshop group, get us a little further down the road. And the way that those objectives should be structured is if you just write the word buy with a blank, that's the date. Somebody, that's another blank, or a group of somebodies will do something. And that's the way that those objectives should be structured. So let's just take an example of the visual presentation group. It might be that by October 1st, Susan, Kalian, and then there might be 3 or 4 other people listed in a group or a team, will issue the preliminary planograms for November and December. That would be a type of objective that you would come up with out of your workshop group. Something that's actionable, that's doable. It's not something like by November 1st, we will get all new POS machines. We're not going to do that. So it would be something that we can actually do. 3 to 5 per group. The group leader will be given, and we'll have large tear-off easel boards for you. And then tomorrow, the group leader will present those 3 to 5 ideas and objectives to our entire management group here. We'll publish those in notes, and then we're going to do those things. So these are very important steps that we want to take in terms of ensuring the success of the holiday season in our stores. If you have any questions after you break up into your groups, then we'll be wandering around and can answer those questions for you. So tomorrow, then, when your leader gets up, we want to use a board, those 3 to 5 things, discuss how you came to that conclusion, and then we'll go on to the next group. We're going to be meeting in this room. So my suggestion is that the group leader segregates themselves as far away from the other group, the nearby